I'm really bored with how we as teachers deliver content to students. Google Classroom has been a thing for a decade now, pretty much the whole time I've been teaching. We've had more or less the same interface of announcements, drop down menus, etc., and that's mostly the same with any other learning management system that you look at. What if instead of being greeted with just Google Classroom, students could be navigating a world map, visiting locations to train their skills for battle, interacting with characters, solving mysteries, and learning by creating products in quests they undertake throughout a school year? The Academy is both the name of a school for heroes in a fantasy setting and the name of the class I teach as a member of a 3-teacher team. This accelerated class is now totally maxed out, with 90 plus students across 6th through 8th grade studying the subject area that they find most interesting across a school year. Before going forward, games and play in education has been a thing pretty much forever. With my generation, we can all remember stepping into the shoes of settlers playing the Oregon Trail on very old computers, AR points, spending them in a school store, and getting bitter like I am because that school store closed a month before school did, and competing against peers with buzzers in hand for quick recall practice and things like that. When we talk about games in education, the term gamification itself refers more to game-like systems. So think leaderboards, badges, earning points, think extrinsic motivators or things that students can earn. Game-based learning is learning through gameplay itself. Simulations and role-playing are easy examples. I'm a character learning by doing. You can see a ton of examples of this on Adam Watson's KY at RPG website. How do you make 80s economics not boring to study? Teacher navigator Lexi Gilly had students take up the role of characters, rolling dice to simulate the randomness of life and deciding what actions their characters would take. It's fun to be in the shoes of those characters in history, even if that history can be a little dry if just taken from a textbook. We pack both of these, gamification and game-based learning, into this academy class. Games are successful because they do this too. Why are people spending on average 71 and a half hours to complete Baldur's Gate 3 or 101 hours to beat Persona 5 Royal? Why are more than 1 million people logged in playing competitive Counter-Strike right now at 7 a.m. in the morning when I am recording this video? And how does WoW, which released back in 2004, still have people logging in and clocking playtime in total years rather than just hours? Games like Baldur's Gate and Persona do this by having compelling stories, by having character building and progression, etc. You're role-playing and you're invested in the story and characters enough to play through a 100-hour story. Competitive games excel because people like to win, and the process of getting more skilled at something is fun and legitimately rewarding. MMOs keep people paying subscriptions for year after year because they're addicting, but also because they're frequently having people work together as a community, and because people are invested in characters they've been building for literal decades. So looking at our class, what do we pull in from those? First easy example is story.
It was a normal day when the world suddenly became dark. A glowing portal stood before you, pulling you in. Tumbling through space and time, you found yourself back on solid ground in unfamiliar territory. You and your peers were shocked to find that you'd been pulled into another world. Now, you'll need to band together and grow stronger to uncover the mystery of why you're here. You can only do that in the halls of the Academy, a school for heroes that helps you translate the knowledge you've learned into power. Choose your class, level up your skills, train in battle, defeat the monsters that plague this world, and challenge yourself daily. As a student at the Academy, you'll have the tools to uncover the mysteries of this world. Good luck, heroes. Let your adventure begin.
Easy, to the point, and kids get it because they've watched, played, or read media where the protagonist is transported somewhere and has to grow familiar with the world while getting stronger. We also pull in the setting. With Genially, the Academy Hub mimics a point-and-click style adventure, with students able to interact with locations, chat with characters, and find secrets. I can have locations with passwords students can only get to by finding another secret. I can do things like set time gates with countdown timers, essentially take all those escape room ideas and blow them up to be bigger. Genially makes it easy for me to modify the world quickly. Usually I'll get an idea, pop it on the map in 10 or 15 minutes, and students run into something completely new when they come to class the next day. For characters and progression, students are characters in the academy. They pick a class which aligns with what they'll study. Knights study social studies, rangers study science, beastmasters study language arts, bards study arts and humanities, and magicians study math. They get to pick what they're going to be studying each quarter of the class and can switch up quarter to quarter. They earn XP on a modern classroom style progress chart. They level up by earning a set total each quarter, which also translates to a grade. Students eventually choose titles for their characters, earn skill points, their character is growing over time. They level up while they learn, and they can complete missions in any order. Students complete quests or projects solo and sometimes in teams. These quests usually create a product, with one example being those games I showed in this video. Students also finish training sessions, which are video notes, and monster hunts, which are quiz-style mastery checks using the website quizzes. As far as competition goes, I bring in other websites like Bookit and Gimkit that utilize gamified elements in this area of the map called the arena. Students can visit here if they finish other activities or at home to prepare for weekly tournaments we have. On Wednesdays, we have games and even gamify rewards through students rolling for different tiers of prizes. They can even earn blind bags with items to help in class or to just do fun things outside of it. These are just a few snapshot examples of how I do this in this specific class. Don't take away from this video that you need to suddenly build the complete video game classroom, but pick an idea from these, go to any of the other videos I have talking about some of these systems a little bit more in depth, and try these ideas with kids.